Yeah. What did I talk about? I want to talk about go from there, lead into how everyone was telling me that show talk about rocking and about touch it down and that talk about the upgrade on the headline, answer some questions. But yeah, it's sort of like the topic of discussion. Hey, here we are. Mic check. Oi, tell the dogs to shut up. I guess the microphone works then, eh? Oh, what are we doing now?
They don't listen, the dogs.
Nah, the dogs.
Have you put my phone over there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's on charge. Shift across a bit of us. Need some room to swing, you know.
What's going on, boys?
Hey, how's it going?
Liam, how are you, mate? Thanks for the shirt orders, Liam. We've seen them come through.
We'll talk about that shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Audio's great. Awesome. Thanks, Lee. Thank you. Well, we've got 10 people here already. This is a good start. Cheers, Paul. Off to a good start. Not having a bevy tonight, mate. Drying out.
Yeah. Feeling a bit dusty.
We did have a late one last night. If you guys are on Instagram, you would have seen our story from 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So
I'm running on about 4 hours sleep.
Yeah. When you got to get up and deal with kids and that. Yeah. Unreal. Well, the comments are coming in thick and fast. Hopefully we get a few people join us tonight. No, it is a Saturday night and most people probably got plans. But if you're like us and you don't have a life, well then, what better place to be?
Yeah, if you don't have anything better than watch us on, first of all, apologies.
Yeah. Commiserations.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll turn that music down a little bit. It's probably a little bit loud for background music. It's not too bad, though. Never played this playlist before. It's the first time. Fatty Matty coming through with the goods on the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. That's
you give us $5.
That's the first one we've ever gotten. That's the first one we've ever gotten. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Legend. Absolute legend.
How'd you set that up? You're a wizard, eh?
I didn't set it up. I think it's just a YouTube thing. Like when you've got your monetization and that. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. It's not a thing that I did, but Fatty Matty did. Thank you, brother.
UFO Sorcery, how you going, man?
Hello. I think UFO Sorcery is someone from overseas.
Yeah, with the Barra.
Got the Barra, yeah.
Barra in, I can't remember what it is now.
Yeah,
to refresh our memory, but...
What's the time where you are? Let us know.
LS the World, is that what it says?
Yeah, LS the World champ. Hey, look,
he hasn't done any videos for a while, has he?
Who's that?
What's his name?
Motorfab.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was doing that boat thing, wasn't he? Yeah, he was doing the that boat challenge to Peel Island, $2,500 boat challenge, and I don't know, it's gone a little bit quiet. He must be fucking flat out busy.
Yeah.
11 a.m.
Hopefully he made it back.
It's 11 a.m. where UFO is.
Oh, yeah? Sweet.
Cool. It's a good time of day.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
For sure. We've got a couple of things to talk about this evening. I'm just sort of going through, reading the comments quickly, and we'll sort of get into a bit of a podcast format at some point. I think next time that we do this, it'd be nice to have like a decent camera and maybe some proper microphones or something so that we get good audio. I think, well, guys are saying that the audio's all right so far, but brass ashtray, the boat thing on Motorfab really lost me. Oh yeah, I think it was, I don't know, like the Cletus jet boat stuff was just going ham at the time when he started it, and it's probably something that he had in his mind at the time. I don't know the bloke. I'm just hypothesizing here, but the jet boat stuff was going nuts for Cletus at the time, and he's probably thinking, hey, this is a thing that I've had in my mind for a while. It could be searchable content. We'll have a crack at it. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think that was it like 202 with a jet on it.
I didn't see it.
You didn't?
Yeah, I'm the same.
It was kind of cool.
I don't like the water at all.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Boats aren't a thing for me.
No, that's it. Yeah, you go to the beach kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Sick. Who else have we got here? Let us know what you're doing, what you're drinking, where you're from as well. I think a lot of our Western Australian brothers, it's probably a little bit early for a live stream for the guys in WA, being 6 p.m. But we also didn't want to leave it too late for you guys over east, especially with daylight savings. Like it's 9 o'clock over there at the moment. So,
yeah, true. True that.
If we had waited until sort of 8 o'clock, where it would be good for the Perth people, no one over east would have been watching.
The last one we did was pretty late though, wasn't it?
It was pretty late and ended up pretty late. There'll be no snorkels this time. No. If you watch the first one, you'll know all about it. How many horsepower are you targeting? On which build is that, UFO? I'm guessing you mean Kurt's VR Commodore. We've got a couple out there, but yeah. Make sure you all like the stream to help the boys out. Thanks, Fatty. Thanks, man. What a champion, eh?
He's
$5.
Real OJO.
Yeah, man. Daniel Gerard, Perth boys are here. Cheers. You boys have plans to hit up the Motorplex or hit up Power Cruise? Yeah, Moses, we want to hit up the Motorplex. Yeah, we'll do events that we can make it to. We'd actually really like to go to the Race Wars Motorplex takeover that's happening in February. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, before we check that out.
There's potential for the XY to go to Motivation as well. So if that works out, then we'll probably be there for that.
Yeah. He's at Narrogin now.
He is at Narrogin now.
Narrogin Rev Heads, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, I was going to wait until there's a few more people. I deliberately haven't told you any of this yet because I spoke to Mick about an hour ago, and I want to get your genuine reaction. But So the car's undergone some more upgrades. Which you did know about. Minor upgrades. So if you saw on our Instagram feed, you would have seen that we took the engine and gearbox out. The gearbox was sent to Corey for a checkup, which, you know, it was sweet. It was great. Had a couple of minor oil leaks in the engine that needed to be rectified. So did a bit of work on that. And it's gone up back to performance carb tuning for the dual needle and seat bowls on the carby, which, if you remember in the series, it made max power, which was great, but the fuel was starting to taper off at the end because the needle and seat just wasn't keeping up. So it's now got a dual needle and seat carby. It picked up 20 horsepower, so it made 790 horsepower this time. We weren't there for any of this time. We were a bit busy with Kurt's car, but yeah, 790 horse. He picked it up on Friday afternoon. He put it in the trailer. He took it straight to Narrogin Rev Heads, and it's one.
How long's that drive? Just so people know, like how long would it take you to get from Perth?
Here to Perth from his place to Perth is 2.5 hours, and then you've probably got maybe 2.5 to Narrogin. I'm thinking. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah. So it's a fair trek. But yeah, he picked it up Friday arvo, took it to Narrogin. It's won best muscle car. It's won People's Choice, and it won most outstanding car.
Wow!
It's taken out the 3 big trophies, so that is pretty sick. We're pretty stoked on that. Oh, thank you. We got some nachos delivered. That's delicious.
Wow, that's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was.
So what did it?
I was
What was the
shocked.
last one it got?
Most outstanding car. So took out the big one.
Wow.
Yeah. So Mick, I spoke to Mick on the phone, and he was absolutely ecstatic. Like he's got three sick trophies. I actually got a photo sent to me. I'll show you guys.
It's pretty cool because it's, you know,
he was getting pretty over it towards the end. There was a lot of niggly problems, but
there's been a lot of money getting thrown at it at the end.
yeah. So there's the.
Wow. He'll be pumped now.
He is pumped, dude. Check that out. So that's the XY sitting. Oh, I've got reflections and junk, but that's the XY there sitting at Rev Heads, Narrogin Rev Heads right now. He'll be celebrating tonight and packing up to come home tomorrow, but took out 3 big awards, which is
that's awesome.
It's excellent.
Good on you, Mick.
It is a sick car.
Good
guys.
on you, Mick.
Yeah, it really is a sick car. So I'm stoked.
And there's still more to go as well. It's only going to get better.
Absolutely.
Probably won't chase much more horsepower. It's already ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got plans to get our boy Jerome, hopefully cleaning up some wiring and, you know, other little bits and pieces like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What about Race Wars in Albany, Daniel? Race Wars isn't in Albany this year. I think it's because they had plans for major runway upgrades this year. So they've still got a contract with the Shire or City of Albany, as far as I'm aware, for a couple of years worth of events. But at this stage, there isn't one this year, which is why they're doing their thing at the Motorplex. That's what I gather from what I've seen through their social media feed and stuff like that. I'm not connected with those dudes, but you know I do keep a close eye on it because their event's pretty sick. But yeah, I think it's still going to go back to the Albany airport next year.
Yeah, Motorplex will be good, but I reckon.
Yeah, roll racing, man. Roll racing at the Motorplex for the first time.
Are they doing drag racing as well?
I think so. Yeah. But they're doing like a TX2K style roll racing where they'll sort of come rolling through under the bridge and then get, you know, like a 40K roll. Yeah, so that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
What else we got? Just finished sand drags. Oh Jesus, yeah, that'll be a mess. Sand drags. Paul Fitzgerald, do you guys heading to Summernats? No, not this year. Yeah, probably not the year after either, because the cars probably won't be ready for it. But we'll look at it in the future, possibly. We'll just sort of see where it all goes. Yeah.
Come to a UFO said he plans to come to Australia for a drag challenge. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Oh, actually, UFO asked before, what's the horsepower goal on your car?
With the motor that we just put in it, not much. If we get, honestly, I'm being honest, if I make 400 to the tyre with that as it sits right now, I'll be pretty happy.
At the end of the day, it is a stock 5 litre.
I'm just buying time before I can get the last bits I need to finish the built motor that I've got behind me there. I still need just a little bit of machining and, you know, getting into machine shops, getting parts. Yeah, it's not easy, and the money as well to come up with it. It's all a bit of a struggle at the moment, as I'm sure many of you are in the same boat. So this is just a means to get it moving. If it makes 400 to the tyre through that turbo 400, that'll be all right. Yeah, that'll be good.
It's easy to assume that there has been a lot of money thrown at this build, but it's been over a long period of time. It's easy to look at the manifold and its current value and the turbo and this and that and everything else and think, oh wow, he's just throwing money. But you've been collecting these parts over like 10 years. Yeah. And a lot of them were a lot cheaper then than they are now.
Yeah, you guys probably haven't seen half the stuff that, like, you just can't get it anymore. You know,
there's a lot of, if I look around little here,
stuff,
there's new old stock VRVS stuff everywhere throughout this shed, and it's all stuff that you were buying on eBay like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Now, if you're into the cars, I mean, look at how many dollars worth of those HSV Devonish seats. We got 3 separate sets of HSV Devonish interiors just behind the laptop there, you know, like, which you could get them for a good price before. Now they're thousands of dollars, you know.
Yeah, so. Particularly the leather ones.
Yeah. So I thought this stuff was cool way before everyone else did. So I'm glad I got in early and got a lot of the bits that I wanted to get before they just got crazy expensive. So
Fatty says the twin throttle body manifold's probably more dollars than the shell. Mate, the shell's probably $500.
Yeah. The whole reason that shell is here is because it's got crazy amounts of sentimental value to me. That car is
irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable. You couldn't offer me all the money; you'd never get it out of me. It's been in my family since '97, I think, '96, '97, and yeah. So it was my mum and dad's car, and yeah, my old man passed away quite a long time ago. So this is one of the last things I've really got left of something that was his, So yeah, I cherish it, which you wouldn't think if you looked at it, because there's not much original left on it. I've modified
When you were slapping
every system on that car has been modified by me or one of my friends. So.
Yeah.
So it's we've made a lot of memories with the build so far, and I plan to make a few more. So,
and it's a credit to you at the moment that the build has gotten to where it is now, and it hasn't left your hands once.
No, yeah,
like
that's right.
Not a the painting's been done. We won't show you right now, but the engine's in it.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through editing that video, so the engine is sitting in the engine bay, and we're getting it to a point where it will probably be able to run and drive, and it has never left your possession at any one point in time. It's not, we've had people come in, like Jerome's come and helped you out with the wiring and whatever, but it's all been under your supervision. So
that's what it's all about. It's good fun. You can get sick of just throwing money over and over and over again when you're trying to find good trades, and stuff like that. That's why I just do it myself. Even if you do a shit job, you didn't have to pay someone to do a shit job. So.
Yeah, and that was kind of where the XY was at certain points. Is that that was a big dollar build. Obviously, he got out of it pretty good for because we did the work and we got the parts reasonably cheap. We were smart where we spent the money, but he got to a point where you're just throwing dollars hand over fist to get it finished, and then you've got the teething issues after that, and you just it's disheartening. But once today would be a perfect representation for him. He's sitting there with 3 giant trophies. And he's on top of the world. Like, he thinks it's the greatest thing in the world, which, I mean, honestly, it's a sick car. It's a really sick car.
Yeah.
UFOs hit us up with €5. I think that's the first time I've ever been paid in a foreign currency.
Wow. Thank you.
What a legend. Thank you, man. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. Sweet.
It's really humbling, isn't it? Like, no, I mean, it's humbling enough that people
I just want to say, behave yourself, just relax.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate it. That's
awesome.
no,
keep it coming.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck, what a week to be a 5-litre Holden fan, though. I thought that posting the thumbnail of the new video with your twin throttle body manifold and the turbo hanging off the side, that was probably going to be some of the most exciting 5-litre news of the week. But then we got blown out of the water like an hour later with Bullet Race Engineering coming up with their billet block. How killer is that?
Yeah. Just when you thought Torque Power block was the ultimate, and it pretty much was up until now. You can get a billet aluminium version, which is pretty awesome.
That is pretty gangster.
I'm wondering if that fella that's got the Mustang that does all the radial stuff over east.
Oh, that Race Parts Melbourne.
Yeah. Because it was weird that he had a Holden in there, but if you could put a billet motor in and go even further. I mean, the Torque Power motor is pretty good as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Torque Power motor is a good thing, but I think I wonder. I mean, I haven't really looked into it too much yet, but I wonder if the Bullet billet block has like a raised cam tunnel and stuff.
I think it did say that.
The Torque Power
60 millimeter cam.
Stuff
like that.
Thicker core. Oh, that'd be.
You'd have to do all that stuff for sure.
Oh, to go to that 440 cube mark, you'd have to have a raised cam tunnel, you'd think, and it's got the bigger bore spacing and stuff like that. So it'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing for Holden fanatics. I mean, once you get to that point, once you start running billet blocks and that, is it really a Holden anymore? I don't know.
I don't even really know if we've seen the actual limit of the stock block, to be honest with you, because we still get surprised.
I think Andrew Darby probably... Is it Andrew Darby? Yeah. He was probably the one...
He split the block, but you still don't know if that was...
related.
Exactly.
But that was showing probably, 1,200 wheel horsepower, that VK.
I'm not sure.
Ran 7-second quarter mile, so it's pushing some horse.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people do sell the factory block short. I remember after, and even recently, after posting the video of my 383, I had a lot of people saying that the stock block was going to be no good, and
And in stock form, they're right.
Yeah. And they're saying, oh, you're not going to be able to make 700 with that. You're going to need to go to an aftermarket block and this and that. And
which is always better to do. Let's be honest. It's always better. But there's some clever guys out there that know how to work their way around the Achilles heels of this engine.
Yeah, and there's a couple of reasons why I wouldn't go that way in particular. I mean, people go, oh, it's a $7,000 block. Yeah, but that $7,000 is a cheap way into buying a $50,000 engine build. Like if you're putting a Torque Power block in there, you're not just going to put like a scat cast crank in it. You're starting to look at the real high dollar gear, and it starts getting out of hand really quickly. But also the thing for me was, although the dimensions of the Torque Power little paw block is the same as factory, the raised cam tunnel, obviously I feel like I want to race the VH when it's done, in various classes or whatever. The raised cam tunnel is actually going to discount you from a lot of different classes, I feel. I think if you look through the Andrew rule book, there'll be some classes with the raised cam tunnel that'll sort of discount you. I want to have as much flexibility because it's not going to be that competitive as the car. It's going to have to be flexible and do lots of different things in order to be fun. So there's a lot of reasons why the Torque Power block probably isn't the way to go, and that's not ragging on Torque Power blocks because they are sick. And I mean, I've got Torque Power parts on my engine. Like I'm certainly not opposed to the business. I just think that for me and for what I want to do, the Torque Power block is probably not. It's just not suited. So I mean,
it's something you can upgrade to later on as well.
Yeah, I mean, if I split my block in half and I have 15 grand burning a hole in my pocket and my rotator's still okay, then I'll probably buy a Billet block.
Yeah.
But
you sort of realise you don't want as much power as what you think you do after a while as well. That's where I've come to. When we do another video, I've missed out probably a lot of nitty gritty details on the car, just with like fuel system wise, and even just we haven't really gone into much detail on a lot of the stuff. I've gone way overboard with a lot of stuff. I realise now, because I realise I don't want the power that I thought I did. You get wrapped up in people making these numbers, and you think, yeah, that's what I want.
We're so jaded now with these 1,000 horsepower VE, blown VEs and stuff, that you think, wow, that's what I need. But do you really?
But in a car, in a VE, the difference between a VE or a car that was made in this decade, even compared to these old Commodores that have no business whatsoever having anything over real 500 horsepower, on the road.
Yeah, that's right.
It's I've got dash 10 fuel on through my car with like provision for 3 Rollbro pumps. There's no way I'm ever going to utilize that now. But it's always good to have the leg room there, I guess, as well. So
yeah, well, you're always better to have the headroom than be fucking tapped out. But I mean, you've designed the platform of the car to go 1,200 horse when really you're probably going to go 750.
Yeah.
It's once the 355 is in it, and it's, I mean, ultimately you'd like to put a G45 on it, yeah?
Yeah, something like that.
And, something like 750 wheel would probably be a really, really good thing. Yeah, I mean, you've ridden in a 750 wheel.
Yeah, I've been in a few.
Yeah, 750 wheel, or turbo Holden as well, so that's a fairly direct comparison, and that was... That's a good
honestly,
thing.
Man, I'm just going to be pumped just to have it move and drive and work. Honestly, man, that's why we're honestly slapping it together. I keep saying it, and it's a bit of a cop out, and it kind of sucks in a way because I've got a lot of nice stuff under the engine bay, but the rest of the car still needs restoring essentially, and it's not going to get done straight away. But there's definitely lots of room for upgrades on the car, which will happen as we go. But getting it moving is first priority.
Yeah, and we're getting there.
Yeah,
we're getting there. Let's go through some of these comments quickly. We'll catch up. Loving the 5-litre content. Definitely helping in building my car up. Oh, that's good, Paul, man. Good to hear you enjoying it.
Yeah.
Surprising that blokes rock up, to be honest. Brad.
Good to see you mate at home, mate.
Yeah, it's good to see you mate at home safe. Brad was here literally 5 minutes before we went live.
Yeah. Group A intake looks freaking good. It does.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have seen anything like that over where you are, no doubt.
Yeah, no, they're definitely pretty cool. They have some sort of a cult status, or I don't know if it's a cult status, but they definitely do have a status.
Do you want to fill them in? I guess some people wouldn't be aware of the significance of it. Like it's a homologation piece essentially.
Yeah.
It was made for our Group A race cars, and there was only a very limited amount built. Obviously, they had to build
I don't even think they built the 500, did they?
No, I think they made 304
Yeah.
VN Group A's. They didn't actually make the 500 that I think you'd assume that they'd need. But yeah, that's why there's not many of them, and that's why if you see one now, they're for sale for big money. Because
I spent years, like, honestly, years and years waiting for one to pop up, and
you missed out on one.
I missed out on a couple.
Yeah.
And they've never been really cheap, but the price that they fetch now, it is fairly. I mean, the fella that we know in WA where we live, he sold his for $15,000. I think he sold that setup for, which was intake manifold, rocker covers, and airbox.
And that was painted as well. It wasn't in original condition.
It was
which
most people would have.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it wasn't in original condition, so it'd been.
But neither are mine. Mine aren't either. Mine have been ceramic coated, and they've got a different coloured grey on the plenum and stuff. But that's all right.
But he reckons at $15,000, he could have sold that over and over and over again. Like he had people tripping over their dick to get it.
Yeah, 10 times over, he said.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, when
anything, man, there's this. If you want something cool, you have to pay the money for it as they get more and more rare. And a lot of people get their knickers in a knot over them and stuff like that. But whatever, you don't have to buy one.
No, that's right. And if anything, it's not going to perform as well as a nice single plane manifold anyway. But the reason why you've got it is it was a bucket list item for you from a long time ago.
Yeah. The sort of style build I want to do is sort of when I first started getting into cars.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been in sort of the early mid 2000s, and you know. There was plenty of those. Well, not plenty, but all the cool, really, really cool cars had those on them, you know. And they also had like the Simmons wheels, which were all 3-piece back then, and they were a lot of money to buy. So just things like that just set builds off compared to your usual stuff. So
yeah,
I definitely could have spent my money a lot wiser, and I would have if one didn't pop up. I would have done something else. I would have probably preferred to buy 2 Bain in custom intake manifolds for what I paid for that one, and you could buy like 4 or 5 or more for what they go for now.
Well, when you first started shopping for one, you were looking at like $5,000 to $5,500, and they quickly rose over the $10,000 mark. Luckily, you got in before then, but now people are asking $18,000 to $20,000 for a full kit, which is ridiculous. Who did you lads use for merch? I want to do a drop next year. Thinking of using Short Batch Co. in Rockingham. Short Batch Co. Are great, and we have dealt with them. They've helped us out a lot with our merch drop, and we're super stoked to have used them, and we will be using them with this pre-order again.
The quality's really good.
Absolutely,
and they've been pretty good to deal with.
Absolutely. So speaking of the merch, thanks to all you guys who've jumped in. We've sold a fair few shirts and that now. Like it's it's very humbling that you guys sort of get behind us, and to all of you who have jumped in on the order, thank you very much.
So much, man.
If you're
getting something out of it, you know.
That's it. I mean, check out this. The light doesn't do it much justice, and the camera doesn't do it much justice either. But this stealth hat is sick. We love it.
Yeah.
The shirts, like these shirts are.
Oh yeah.
You've barely gotten out of your shirt.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
There you go.
It looks good, man. It does look really good, and we can't wait to get the gear out to you guys because we think you're going to love it, which is sick. So if you haven't and you're thinking about getting it, you can go on our website after the live stream, www.torqhub.com.au. All of it's there. Pre-order finishes on the 3rd of December, and we're hoping that we'll get all the gear out the door by Christmas. Yep. You probably won't get it by Christmas.
We know how reliable the postage system is.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I would love to have it under your Christmas tree for Christmas morning, but I just don't want to hang my hat on Ozpost because we know that they're unreliable at the best of times.
Yeah.
And I can say that because my dad works for Ozpost. Can't wait to see the results of the billet block. Yeah, that'll be sick. Is the VS tubbed? No.
Not yet.
No. The VR isn't. The VS isn't. The VH
is. It's half tubbed. Well, it's not tubbed. Yeah, it's on its way.
Yeah. Split tub to the rail. So. And there'll be an update on that coming soon. Very soon.
Has that been back from the blasters yet?
No, because the weather was turning late this week. They had to postpone sandblasting. Yeah. So I was meant to be at Woodley's on Friday, filming an update video on the VH, but unfortunately, because the weather was no good for blasting, we've had to push back.
Yeah,
so that kind of sucks.
That's all part and parcel with
Honestly,
restoring a car.
I'm stoked that they're making as much progress as they have. Like they're working quick.
I reckon it's a bit of fresh meat in the shop. You know, they've probably been looking at
Fresh
the same
food, yeah.
same. How many cars he's got there? 4 or 5 restorations or whatever.
More,
it is.
yeah, like 8 maybe.
Yeah, so something new comes in. That's what I'm like, man. I don't know what you guys are like when you're working on your car or maybe someone else's car. And yeah, I'm the worst for it, man. I just won't do jobs if I don't feel like doing it. And that's why shit takes as long as it does, because I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. And I can't be told, like,
it's
not
easy.
even by myself.
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
easy.
just like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no is the easy answer. If you're not super pumped on it, or there's some times where once we filmed a video, there's a lot of footage to go through. And if there's a big backlog of footage to go through on a video, it's easy for me to go, no, I'm not doing that today. I just don't want to face that demon. But you know what? You gotta get into it and you got to get it done. Yeah. And the sooner you do it, the better. Is it your main job or a hobby? So cars and YouTube is just a hobby. I work in the railway freight industry. That's my sort of day job, and
and I'm in sort of, what would you call, like the mining resource sector for now.
Yep.
And
metal fabricator by trade.
Yeah, tradesman, metal guy, and I just like cars. So
you did majority of your sort of apprenticeship then like car bodybuilding, wasn't it? Like truck trailers and stuff.
Like transport, like road transport's where I started, and it's gone from there. So
yeah.
But you never know what might be our main job later on. You know what I mean?
Oh, look, if this could be our main job one day, that would be cool. If we could, build cars and sell parts, like build our own parts for sale and
I've got a couple of ideas.
Absolutely. Between the two of us, we've got a couple of little brain children that we'd love to get off the ground, and if we could turn that into a job, that'd be amazing. But obviously, it's baby steps, and we've got families to support and mortgages to pay and things like that. So it's hard to take the leap sometimes. You've got to have a sort of money behind you,
especially in the current climate as well, man. You don't know what's going on in the world, man. It's pretty crazy. So
that's it.
What do we got there?
500 horsepower on the road is way too much. It's wildly unnecessary, especially when it's NA. Yeah, I remember. So Brad, I built Brad's car before the channel was a thing, and that made 500 wheel. It was a VT Commodore with a what was it? It was like a 408 or I think it was a 408 or a 402 cube LS. You might have to refresh my memory there, Brad. But hydraulic roller with turbo 400 and all the good gear. And that was an animal on the road, naturally aspirated, even in a heavy car with IRS. So
it depends a lot on the car, I reckon. And I think IRS cars can get away with a little more, especially heavier ones, sort of your VT or your BA. Once you start getting up in the 1,700 odd kilo range, I think you do need a little bit extra, whereas these earlier Commodores, you're hovering around the 1,400 kilo, solid diff.
I think
they don't need as much.
I think my VH will probably be about 1,300 kilos, and with the same sort of power, it's probably going to be a bit of a wild animal. What ECU are you going to run, Kurt? We do cover this in the new video, but we'll let you know now.
Yeah, it's a Link G4 Extreme, so it's an older Model 1. It's the red box one. It's a fairly capable ECU, actually. I've jumped in and had a bit of a look. I don't know what the hell I'm doing in there, but it'll do the job. I mean, that engine doesn't need much stuff. It's a pushrod V8, so you don't need all the bells and whistles, although I would like to have all the bells and whistles. I think I've got enough there to keep me happy for a long period of time, actually. So, Link G4 Extreme is what we're running.
Yeah. Iron Lion, absolutely. Walesy, love the channel.
Hey,
Good
man.
to see some fellow Perth dudes. Hey, dude, he has a very clean VH, that fella. Cam Diffie is putting D in cruise.
Loving the 5-litre content.
On the Morgs. Look at you, Moses, on the Morgs.
Yes.
Get in there. Ricky Bobby, how's it going, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
No snorks this time? Nah. Kurt is not even interested.
No, I'm running on about 4 hours sleep at this point.
If you watched the first live stream and you saw the snorkel debacle, you'd know what we're talking about. Regarding Australia engine, we got ourselves a Barra that's going to be fully rebuilt and good for 1,400 inside into an R32 Skyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. That'll be cool, man. That's been
Another
done.
WA guy did that. I put a Barrett in a 32.
Yep, yeah, that's been done over here, man. So there'll be, if you need any ideas or help or whatever, I'm sure you'll be able to track someone down, and that would be cool. First one in Europe, though, that would be something pretty special. How would you go about going to Sweden? Would you do like the Stockholm Open or something in that sort of car? Because it'd probably be good for it.
Probably.
That would be sick. Yeah, the merch is tops and the stickers are nice. Because race car, I need a bigger cupboard. So these two guys, cheeky dogs, they when we did our sample order, we sort of asked a couple of our close mates if they wanted to get a shirt, just so that we could sort of, I guess it's easy for them to get one shirt right, but if they got to do 10 shirts, then you're probably going to know what your production quality is going to be like. So those blokes have got one. They're lucky buggers. It's the best cam setup for LS1 guys for street setup. I mean,
You just go to a reputable shop,
yeah,
and they'll sell you there. They usually have their package, don't they?
yeah, that's right. Whatever your tuner recommend, like your tuner will have what they see as the best valve train sort of setup, and valve events and whatever for what they're doing. And there's more than 100 ways to skin that cat.
Yeah. Go and see your tuner and ask him, because he'll know what he likes
Yeah.
and what he can get out of it. You know what I mean?
I know.
Try and keep the chefs to a minimum in the kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, back 10 years ago, everyone was running like a 228, 230 at 113 cam. That was making 400 wheel in an LS1 with a manual, with an auto. With an auto, honestly, it's pretty hard to get 400 horsepower cam only. I think you sort of need to go with some heads or whatever.
On an LS1.
Yeah, with stalled auto, I think 400 is on a good dyno. Put it that way. What else have we got here? FJ Engineering Racing. Hey boys, I finally finished the tunnel and firewall in my FJ20 Gemini. Thanks for giving me the motivation and confidence to give it a crack.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember seeing the photos. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's cool, man. Great work.
Yeah. I can still remember now when I started cutting into Lamb's one.
Yeah.
I was like, went in pretty confident, and which is not like me normally. I'm very pessimistic. You've probably picked up if you watch our videos from a little while. I'm always trying to sell myself short, but then come through strong at the end. And I was sort of pretty confident, and then I got sort of into it a bit and thought, fuck, this is getting a bit. I'm never worried about not being able to get it done, but I always want it to look really nice. So, there's one thing on just getting shit done. Anyone can do that, and I'm always confident I could get it done. If we're in the bush and we're trying to get out of somewhere, I'll get it done, but
it's got to be nice.
I've got a lot of pride attached to what I do, and I really want it to look good, like it looks like someone that knows what they're doing. And just because you're a welder doesn't mean you know how to do everything, man. So
that's right.
Especially car stuff, like it's so finicky. You have to just take your time. Well, I do anyway. Take my time to get it looking real good. So we'll try to get it looking as good as you can anyway.
Yeah. Intercooling the blower setup. JC, which one are you talking about? The XY, or are you talking about my blown VSU? Definitely would buy a 5-litre turbo setup. Yeah, there's been a few people
I've been thinking about doing a kit. If Jeff lets me use his car as a test mule, I'll build a kit.
He's been.
But I can't use my car because it's modified so far past what all you guys would. It's got. You wait until you see in the engine bay. It looks sick. So it doesn't. It's not going to replicate anything like what any sort of normal road going VS really normally has. I
mean, the first problem that you've got with your setup versus a stock VS is that you've got the turbo where the fuse box.
That's because of the manifold. This manifold has caused no end of dramas.
Twin throttle manifold.
Yeah. Like it's even a pain in the ass to work on. Honestly, on that side. Can't even get a fuel rail off without fighting those throttle bodies off and stuff. So it's not the nicest bit to work on, but I have thought about doing a turbo kit. Yeah. So we'll see how we go with trying to get Jeff to let us use his as a test mule. Yeah. Yeah. Well, one day maybe. Yeah. No. Because I think everyone that wants to buy a turbo kit for a 5-litre, they don't want to relocate the fuse box. They probably don't want to relocate the battery.
you know, they want to keep their aircon and they want to keep their alternator. Like you've got to give up something to make everything fit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I think the LS turbo kit stuff has gone really well, because you can put a kit on there and sacrifice nothing. As soon as you
people have done it with keeping everything.
Yeah. As soon as you tell someone with a Holden 5, they're like, oh, you're gonna have to get rid of something, and the most obvious one is get rid of the power steering and put an Astra power steering pump on. But that scares a lot of people out of it straight away.
Yeah, and it shouldn't, but it does.
But I mean, you could get rid of the aircon and move the alternator, and you could have a neat looking kit, but it is.
We might even be able to just come up with something where we do a set of manifolds, or even just, I don't know. I'll figure some things out.
Yeah. Keep you in the loop.
Yeah.
Loving the merch. Keep up the cool content. Thank you, Devil8923. I think that's Taz from work, actually. If I'm reading that name correctly. Any updates on the 6-litre turbo? It's a VP, actually, Ricky Bobby. VG was the VN model. This was a VP, but we put a VN front on it.
Yeah.
No updates as yet. He's been busy living life, doing other things.
Yeah. Liam's got about 4 cars.
Yeah.
So they all get love at different times. Unfortunately, the Ute hasn't had anything.
He spent a lot of money on his GU Patrol, which is a really nice car.
Restored a boat.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. So yeah, nothing on that. But hopefully we can twist Liam's arm and get him to do something else soon. You never know. I might get it back and do some more fab work. At some point, try and pick up on some of that stuff. So,
yeah, well, I mean, we needed to tub the rear end and get that ready for a 9-inch and stuff. There's a lot.
He's got a 9-inch there now.
Yeah,
so.
There's a lot of work.
Actually, so he's got a 9-inch for it and a tail shaft. So that's probably
and a power glide case.
Yeah, and he's got the Reed power glide case. But yeah, no real work. I think he's maybe stripped all the wiring and stuff out. He's looking at going to PDM from what is it? Smartwire, is it?
Hardwire?
Hardwire? No, not Hardwire. The Race Pack. Well, who's the Race Pack guys that do the PDMs? It's like the Race Pack brand one.
Okay.
One that Devon always does. I think it's a Smartwire. Whatever, something like that. Anyway, he's looking at doing the PDM on that, but still heaps to go on that. A lot more money to go on that, but.
I'm also in the midst of doing some research on PDM stuff, because now that I've got literally all the wires out of the VH, I'm thinking maybe I won't put the fuse and relay box back in the car. I might use a PDM. So that's going to go down a big rabbit hole of money and work. But you
got to get there first. You got to get it back.
I've got to get the car back first, and that'll be a long while away. But while there's no wiring in the car, now's the perfect time to start from scratch if I'm going to.
Yeah.
4-bolt main Group A block, I think is what you meant. Group A crown, you mean block.
Yeah.
Would have been a great find a few years back for your build. Yeah, so my engine does have a VL Group A block 4-bolt main.
Yeah.
I've also got another block which I bought before I bought that engine. So I've got a VT block which has been 4-bolted, as well as O-ringed, and lifter bores have been done as well.
Yeah.
Because I was going to build a 355 for the VH, but then I ended up doing the 383 direction. So I've still got that block, and I'll possibly use it on the Ute later on.
Yeah. Or if I don't steal it. Although I'll probably just use
You've got
block.
a 4-bolt block.
Yeah, the block that's going in the VR is a VT roller block, and it's already been grouted, and 4-bolt main caps. Yeah, it's got a billet cum crank and a scat H-beam rod. I just need some machining and some slugs and probably a heap of other little bits to get that one going.
Yeah,
Yellowterra -9 heads as well. So it'll be a nice-ish motor.
Yeah,
when it's done.
It'll be basic, but it'll be stout.
Yeah, that's all I need. I don't need anything crazy. I don't plan on racing the car or anything crazy like that. So.
And there's been some recent revelations through some people. I won't say it out loud on the live stream in case he's not ready for it to be a thing or whatever. He posted on his private Facebook account, I guess. But dudes that are using LS lifters in 5 litres as well as LS rocker gear as well. So there's some products that could hit the market in the not too distant future if he gets it worked out, which you don't need the rockers, obviously. You've got the Yellowterra Platinum ones, but the lifters is something that you're interested in.
Yeah, because I've got Morel lifters at the moment. I'm not really interested in using those. They can be hit and miss. So, but, a real nice Holden lifter, man, that's going to run you in at like $1,500, probably more now.
Yeah.
Probably closer to $1,800 plus now. So if you can put an LS7 lifter in for a few $100,
Yeah,
that's
$280 for a set of lifters.
That's a no-brainer.
Had a very clean VH. Oh, well, he sold it. Actually, I don't know if he wants me to say what he's doing. Because he's messaged
You're always
me
in the
before.
know, eh?
Yeah, he sent me a message. He sent me a message and
Yes.
said that he was looking at selling the VH, and he's got another thing on the go. He had a car
Oh, really?
a little while back, which he misses, and he wants that back. So it's not that car. He's not getting that car back, but he's going to build another one.
Yeah, okay. He might tell us.
He might, yeah. And I'm not going to drop the bag on him, but if he wants to tell us, then that'd be cool. Electric AC compressor, yeah. I've seen electric AC stuff. Problem is, there's a lot of load with that as well, which
that's
when you're talking EFI and fuel pumps and this and that and everything else, that's a lot of electrical load. You're gonna need like 200 amp alternator for that. If you could have any JDM or Aussie car, what would you have? Oh, that's pretty easy, I think.
Yeah, my car is probably the one that I'd have.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a hard question because there's so many.
There's a lot of cars.
Yeah, there's so many, but I probably wouldn't mind a VH SLE.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
A shadow tone one.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted a VH SLE.
Yeah, I've got a list as long as this shed of cars that I wouldn't mind having. And funny, we were talking about the other day, and not a single exotic on there. Not my thing at all. It's all 4-door and 2-door Aussie and American shit boxes, really. Is what I like mainly.
Yeah,
I do like some Euro stuff as well, but yeah, it's mainly the Australian and American market stuff that I like.
Yeah. I mean, my favourite Aussie car would be a VH SLE, and that's what I'm going to build. I also wouldn't have minded a VX Senator. Once upon a day, I don't know if I'm
VX Senator.
Yeah.
I remember like they were the first Senator to come out beside the VS. They had manual that you could have a 6-speed.
Yeah. So there was one that was locally to us actually for a while. There was a Storm Grey VX Senator with a 6-speed manual, and that was the one that sort of got me like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind one of them, but I don't know if I would still want to do that.
Yeah.
I think a VS GDS, probably in cherry black, with leather Devonish interior. That'd probably be the go. JDM cars, I've had. There was a while there I was driving a Mark III Supra, and I wouldn't mind another one, or an R32 GDR, but I'm not super big on it.
Now you're bringing up 32
GDR
is something I would love to get.
Yeah,
I'd want like a full Matuk spec one with like a turbo 400 and a huge single turbo.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
That would be sick. But man, there's endless list of cars. I did have an S13. You're right, Brad. Yes, I did have an S13 as well. That was a shit one though. It was a non-turbo one. It wasn't worth talking about. You boys on the beers? Well, I am. Kurt's drying out.
Yeah.
We had a late one last night. I'm just keeping on going.
Yeah, I'm a bit dusty.
Give me the PDM info. Yeah. Brad, when I figure it out, I'll let you know. It might take me a while to figure out though. There's a guy over here in Queensland developing a cam and chip to convert the LS1 firing order to the same as a Holden 5-litre. So you're saying that an LS would then have a 5-litre firing order cam?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Interesting.
That's different.
Yeah, interesting. I've heard, the Chevy guys, they do like a 4.6 swap or 6.7 swap or something. I think that's a reasonably common sort of upgrade on them for harmonics and things like that.
Yeah.
That's been a thing that's been around for a while, but to do a Holden firing order in an LS, that'd be
interesting.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that goes. Yeah, for sure. Mark III Super is a nice car. We got a lot here for cheap. Yeah, mine got sold for cheap. Yeah. LS1 ECU on a 5-litre. Yeah, Brad, we've actually got an LS1 ECU and a wiring harness to suit a 5-litre sitting on the shelf.
We could put it straight in Jeff's ute when we turbo. It'd be perfect.
You just won't give up, eh? Bigger hoodies.
Poor bloke, you got a bloke offering to turbo your car for you. Fucking hell. First world problems right here, eh?
Yeah, it sucks. It really does. Because it makes it sound like it's going to cost me nothing too. Your thoughts on RB26? Oh, mate. Yeah. You had an RB 30.
I had a 30 Det VS. Yeah. It was a VR ute, actually, and it was sick.
Yep, had a 25 head. locker, and a Jatco, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it was a R33 5-speed.
Oh,
It was
yeah, it
manual.
was too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, and it
that was
had
a while ago though.
It had a Master Power, like bigger turbo on it, made like sort of mid to high 300s to the wheels.
Mm.
It was laggy. It was a little bit laggy, but it was pretty cool. Like I kind of do wish I still had that car. Honestly, it was a bit rough, and it was engineered. That was the best thing about it. It was fully permitted, engineered.
Yep.
So yeah, I had that for a few years. That was a pretty fun car, actually. That's probably one car I kind of regret selling a little bit, but in saying that, it would have just distracted me from that one over there. So, like all the other cars I bought in between, how many did I buy? I bought a handful of cars to try and just get my fix while I was not building that one. And,
I just
all
need
it does
something that
is
I can drive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and none of them really scratched the itch. So all
Yeah.
it did was really just set me back 6 or 12 months of motivation, really.
And money.
Yeah, I always made my
I was
money.
gonna say, not that
made
you
money
lost
when
money
I
on the
sold
car.
it. Yeah.
But I mean, it's money that was in the bank that could have been spent on the car, but you spent buying another car.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Mm.
26s are crazy expensive now. They've gone up a whole heap, and the 2J stuff's even worse over here.
Yeah,
So,
2J stuff is crazy.
Yeah.
I think the way to go nowadays would be, you can buy a Nitto rotating assembly and use an RD28 block, and
Well,
you
you-
could probably build something for
I
less
think
than what
Nissan are starting to reproduce all that stuff.
they
as well.
are
I
now.
think
Yeah, Nismo Heritage program. You can buy an RB26 block and head. I think it's about $8,500 for the pair.
Yeah, I think you have been able to pick the heads and stuff up. Like they've always had new ones around. Probably not necessarily from Nissan, but they've always had new heads floating around. I think it's the same with the 2J. You can still buy a new 2J head, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's
go to your local dealership.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
There's a dude actually that works near me. He had an S15 Silvia, and he hadn't had it very long. He went down to the Nissan dealership and he was just talking to them like, oh, hey, like I've got this S15, just seeing what sort of parts you might have around for them. Turns out they had 5 new old stock bonnets. And it's just like they were just at the service center. And I was thinking, man, people with an S15 to be jumping online going, oh, where am I going to get a bonnet from? They're probably paying through the nose for some janky secondhand bonnet that needs painting. This is a new old stock bonnet for like $550. I said to the dude, man, buy all 5 of them and put them online because you will make money like
You'll get your
that.
money back for
Yeah,
sure.
and I couldn't believe it. Honestly, he just went down to a local Nissan dealership, and that was something that there was just like, yeah, it's in stock. We can have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Unreal.
It'd be cool. Imagine if you could still do that with everything, man. It'd be so good. I wouldn't have had to pay through the nose for so many like new old stock parts that I've bought. Like,
Yeah.
I don't regret it though.
Nah, absolutely not. PRP is dipping into TB48 stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind doing a TB48 or even like a FJ, like the oh no, not the 1FZ. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
the
Toyota Straight 6.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. And
They're huge motors, man.
oh yeah, big dogs.
Yeah.
And I also wouldn't mind doing a 3RZ, but I don't know what I put it in.
Something small. It has to be.
Yeah,
something
it has to be
small.
like, I mean,
really small.
Nugget Garage has got the right idea there. Hey, putting a 3RZ in a KE10,
Yeah.
that's probably where you want to be, really. He has got the right idea there. That thing is hooking too. Like that's a 7-second car. Like, and the dude is a jet. He knows his shit.
Yeah.
Same as LS shit prices. 3 years
Yeah.
ago, sold early LS6 intake for $50. Now they're on $300. What?
Yeah,
$300
just the motors alone, man. You just need to look at how much
Damn.
the LS motor sells for now.
Oh,
6
man.
liters are like getting advertised for $5-6 grand now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Well, they were always used to hover around 4.5. At
I was
like
gonna
wrecker
say
prices.
the 6 liters were always. I mean, you could get a 5.7 for $800.
Yeah,
or,
500.
or less.
Free.
Yeah, but the 6 liters were always reasonably well regarded,
Yeah.
especially if it had rectangle
Yeah,
port.
if you're paying like retail, you're paying sort of 4.5 grand for it, like one that might have a cam or something in it. Now they're upwards of that.
That's insane.
Like anything, supply and demand, eh?
Allegedly, you can go to the Nissan dealers and buy Pintara stuff. That'd be good for you.
Yeah.
We might
Oh,
be
they
building a
do.
Pintara one day, guys, if Brad pulls his finger.
We got R32 in 2017 before American history stuff for 9.8k. Now to get the car, Expertise
Wow.
to be in the range of €25,000. Yeah, right.
€25,000. What's that about? 70,000 Australian? Do you reckon?
I've seen
Oh,
two.
I'd look-
I've seen two
I'll see.
32 GDR shells for sale. Did you see those? The other day, Blake had two of them with no motors.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, 60
white-
grand a piece.
Yeah, 60
Yeah, I did
each.
see that. Yeah.
They only needed motors, but and they had a lot of
Fruit.
a lot of bits and pieces on them already. So
Let's have a look. What was it 25,000? Yeah, 25,000 euro.
Euro.
40 grand. 40 grand Australian, or close to 39.
Bought a 2004 2J Aristo. Yeah. They used to be everywhere, Aristos. Now you never see them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded an Aristo at one point, but yeah, you couldn't find one now. They've all, and the silly thing is they've been bought for the engine and they've been scrapped.
Yeah,
You know,
I've never
like-
been a massive fan of the cars, just aesthetically. Like they're all right, but yeah, the driveline on them sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what you do. You buy them because they were cheap because they
Yeah.
weren't.
Yeah,
No, they weren't.
2JZ,
no Supra.
A340.
Yeah,
And you can pick them up for like 2-3 grand. They were pretty cheap.
they
because
did get cheap for
the
a while.
Luxo barges, no one wants them. My old man's planning on putting a 13B in a KE30. Are you guys a big fan of rotaries?
I like cool rotary stuff. I'd probably never build one. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I do enjoy watching what other people do with them.
Yeah, I'm a fan of rotaries. I think there's 13B. I can't remember if it's 13B or 12A KE30 locally to us. That was at a local car meet. Oh, we're gonna shake the table. Big Deezy dog's coming for a wander.
Oh, turn around.
G'day, Bludge.
Hey, come here.
Come here, Diesel. Say hi to your fans. Hey, Shop Dog, come say g'day. Yeah, so there's a dude locally to us. I'm pretty sure it's a KE30 with a 13B or a 12A. It's pretty cool. It's pretty noisy, pretty rowdy.
Yeah.
Got the Gilmers on it and stuff. I think it's cool. There's so much room to work around it too. Like, and a Corolla engine bay is not a big engine bay.
No.
But dude, those rotaries, they're so compact. Yeah. You reckon LS1 with 241 heads, 400 is hard to achieve through an auto with just a cam?
Yeah.
Yeah, with just a cam, I think you'd probably be, especially if you put a stall in it, you'd probably.
I
I'm
mean,
not saying you
they've
can't do
always
it.
had like.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm sure you can, but I reckon sort of 370 to 380 is probably where you'll be. But don't get hung up on the figure, dude, because that figure means nothing.
Cam only usually with auto, you're usually around mid threes, I thought, and your manuals usually used to get around your 380.
Yeah.
That was just sort of what you got. You got sort of 380, 390 ish with a manual and just a cam, and you'd get sort of your 340, 350. Or a bit more, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, I've never really gone crazy ham on the LS stuff, and that's never really crazily interested me. But yeah,
with more modern tuning and valve train stuff, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure I've seen 410, 415 with a manual and sort of 380ish with an auto, cam only. But I think if you want to crack that 400 with a LS1 with the 241 heads, you're probably going to need to do some head porting.
And even then, it's probably going to drive like shit anyway. You know, you're going to gain that tiny little bit up top and then lose it somewhere else. So.
Yeah. You probably maybe try and find yourself a set of 243 heads if you can get them. And that'll probably get you over the line, I reckon, because they are a much better head casting. But, yeah, like I say, don't get hung up on the figure, dude. 400 rear wheel horsepower is no joke, really. Like, I know it's easy to get jaded these days, but a 400 rear wheel horsepower street car, that's fucking getting it, eh? They're pretty good, man. Like, it's. I know.
I mean, I daily that.
Yeah, that's right.
Enough to.
I mean, yours is a turbo car, so it's got like heaps of grunt, really.
So it makes that everywhere. It's heaps better than a cammed LS1.
Yeah. So,
only 2 seconds.
Yeah, you go for it, man. Old Curtis is just going to have to do some dad duties real quick, and I'll entertain the folks. Manual LS1 VY makes 442 at the wheels. Wow, that's pretty good, man. Aquabot. What sort of other stuff have you got going on with that? Is that got headwork or anything like that as well? Or it's 442? That's fairly getting it. And was it a hub dyno or a roller dyno? Once again, these figures they don't mean everything. They're not the be all and end all. A 350 horsepower car can feel faster than a 450 horsepower car, and it can be faster than a 450 horsepower car if it's only, say this screen here is a dyno graph, right, and it makes 450 here, but the power curve's like that. if you got a 350 horsepower car that does this, look at the distance here, power under the curve. Yeah, that's what you want. That's really what you're chasing. If you can get your cam and your stall to be set up where you've got bulk power under the curve, low down, it doesn't matter what the top end power is because the job's done by then. We'd be running a Motec exhaust system. Nice. I think that's what Hector's got. What else? Have you seen the Rotor Swap VN? Yes, I have seen that. I think that's Gus from Street Machine. I think I saw, if you go over to the Driving with Dixon YouTube channel, him and Iron Empire did a collaborative meet in Adelaide, and it was there, and I'm pretty sure Gus was driving it. Gus is he's the fuller figured lad with the big grey beard. You probably see him on the Drag Week and like Summernats videos and stuff like that. I think it might be his, or if it's not his, he knows who owns it. (1976) Toyota Crown, dude, 350 wheel in a Toyota Crown, that'd be sick. That would be sick. That would be really good. Want to do my oil pump and timing chain? No, I'll pass. Thank you. I mean, we can do it, but we've got plenty to crack on with. I can assure you that there is. We've got some other builds, which obviously we're flat out with Kurtz at the moment, and we'll be doing updates on my car as they come in. But there are other builds that are in the WIMs, in the planning stages. We've got things like the Super Camry, so the compound turbo Toyota Chaser. He's going to be bringing that back for some extra fabrication work. We may be doing some more fabrication work on the VP Ute, and then we've also got some fab work to do on a couple of Falcons as well. So see how we go with that. But yeah, oil pump and timing chain on a Falcon. Yeah, I don't know if I'll have time, if I'm honest. Aquabot, fast LSX, 102 mil, CNC ported, 2362. Yeah. That's what I would expect to need to make 440 in an LS1. If you didn't have that intake, and that intake probably isn't giving you that many gains over an LS6 manifold. If you did have an LS6 on a factory, I think the VYs did. But yeah, the ported heads, that and the diff ratio change, that's probably what's getting you over the line there, I reckon. And that's not to say that I know anything about anything, but yeah, I think that's probably what it is. Your D-Max with 230 horsepower and 740 Newton meter dust stock LS1s. Fatty, that is sick. I've got a D-Max. I've got a 2017 D-Max, and I've been waiting until the warranty runs out because I really want to put like a bigger turbo, some plus 30 injectors, and maybe like I think they use the ECU shop, like plug-in ECU, and go for like 250-ish. That'd be sick. That would be sick. In a 6-speed auto, cruising, wicked tow car. Wider rotary engines sound so much better than V8s. Well, Kirky, we could go into a technical discussion there, but I think it's got something to do with the number of exhaust pulses that you get per revolution. But I won't go into that. Kirky, you need to come around and pick up your shirt too, dude. We've got a shirt here for you. It's in the bag, ready to rock and roll. Have a shot for us. I didn't bring anything to shot. I'm not at my house. If I was at my house, I would. If I was at my house, I'd do a snorkel. If I was at my house, I'd do a snorkel as well. But Kurt will not have any bar of that. Yeah. Tell you what, if you're up, mate, I'll probably get another beer as well. That'd be great. He's just shoving some food down the gullet real quick. He'll be back shortly, guys. LS the World, trekking with TB. You're the man. You're the man. 7,200 RPM. That's good, man, for a stock bottom end LS. I do like that. We're hoping that Kurt's car will go 7,000 RPM or thereabouts when we put the 355 in it. It'll be hydraulic lifter, but yeah, we do want to get after it with the RPM and sort of get it happening. A shoey beats a snorkel. Yeah, I probably won't be doing a shoey. Not tonight. I got to walk home. I don't want wet shoes. Actually, I don't have to walk home, but Plastic the Planet, J Benz, you mad dog. Yeah, you are the man. Plastic the Planet. That's where I'm at.
Everyone realizes it's cool.
Yeah. Where were they all 10 years ago when everyone was LS in the world? Now everyone thinks it's cool and they're making all the shit too expensive for us. Do a shoey then. Nah, I'm not doing a shoey. These are new shoes. I'll show you actually. Look, for if there's any sneakerheads, this was a limited drop. Nike Air Max, all grey, size 14. Very hard to get because I've got a big foot. There you go. If you're a sneakerhead, these are new. I just got these. I think the last time they did an all grey Air Max was the last drop was 2017. So I didn't want to wait another 4 years to get a pair. Fatty Matty says if we both do a shoey, then he'll do a $50 super chat. That is a pretty good offer. You've got the man tempted. I don't know if I will be tempted. Kurt's got 20 pairs of shoes. Tell him to do it, he says. When are you boys going to settle your differences from the last video? My money's on Kurt. It's like I said in the comments. Someone said, "Oh, it's not the dog in the fight; it's the fight in the dog." And I dropped a comment. I was like, "Look, if it ever got to that, we both lost. It doesn't matter who won; we both lost because long-time friends like that should never have to worry about those kind of shenanigans." Yeah, not over a flat tappet cam of all things. Jesus Christ, I was really keen while the engine was on the stand, and it's like literally we had the rockers off because we were doing the valve springs. We had the intake off because there was a new intake going on. The timing cover was off. Literally, all I had to do was buzz the cam gear off and change the cam out. It was perfect opportunity, but to try and mitigate risk in first fire up, obviously, all of the stuff in the car is unfounded at this point. The wiring, the ECU, the tune that's in it, we don't know how any of that is. So when it comes time for first fire up with a flat tapper cam, obviously the run-in is super important. And if we wipe a lobe off the cam and put metal through the bearings of what we saw and what you saw in the video is an exceptionally good condition engine. It just, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. I'm not as risk adverse as Kurt is. I'm a little bit. I'm still risk adverse. Don't get me wrong. I'm not too reckless, but where the engine was and where it was at, and yeah, I probably would have changed the cam out, but the man didn't want to do it, and that's you got to respect him for that. And his reasons are sound. I'll give him a hard time. I gave him a real hard time that weekend, but it was probably for the best. It just means that now if we do want to change the cam, there's a lot of extra work in order to do it. That's all right. It'll make a good video for you guys. Hector's going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. Oh, man, are you for real? And a Motec system exhaust. Damn, that's sick. I bought fresh new Air Max 90s in March. Some flop stole them off the front porch. Oh, J-Benz, that sucks, man. That sucks. I'd be super devo. I'm not a mad sneakerhead, but I do like my Nikes. I only have Nikes. That's all I wear. I don't know why. It's just the thing. Bought it.
Noticed that before.
Sorry?
I never noticed that before.
You've never noticed? Yeah.
I only wear Nikes.
Yeah, I only wear Nikes, man. I don't know why. It's just a thing. And yeah, all my shoes are Nikes. I think I've got a pair of Hurley thongs. But yeah, all my shoes are Nike. You've got quite the collection.
Yeah.
See, when I was a
Like
teenager, I used to wear Globes, DCs, Etnies, I'm Osiris. I wore all of the shit. But
the shoes I'm wearing now are, I got a lot of those. What do you call them? Like your puffy.
The old skate
DVSs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 33 in a few days, so that sort of tells you the era that I grew up in, man.
Yeah.
With baggy jeans and
yeah. Well, we were in the prime.
Big excuse me.
Yeah.
Big puffy skate shoes and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, we were teenagers sort of through 2002 to 2008 when, like Slim Shady and, all Dr. Dre and then all the skate movies and the motocross movies and that were all the thing.
Yeah.
And that's when you had to like order the DVD through the magazine and wait a couple of weeks to
Yeah.
get it, and then you play it on repeat for 3 days. That was where we grew up.
Yeah.
You know, that was us.
Yeah. BMX and motocross, skateboarding, all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
We didn't grow
I'm
up together.
Still in that.
Yeah, we didn't grow up together either. Like, we grew up 10 hours apart. It's not until we were sort of 18, 19 that Kurt and I became acquainted, and you know, it's probably only been. I mean, we've known each other for a good 15 odd years, but we've only really been. It's not that we weren't friends, but like we've actually been friends for probably 10 years, you know. So, but yeah, like we go to the skate park and we ride BMX bikes with our kids, and we work on cars and we wear skate shoes, and that's just what we do. When are you going to finish Zach's project for him? Oh my God, Zach's project. He's got a Celsius airbag Celsius, and it's full.
Has that got to use that in it?
Yeah, blown use that actually.
Yeah, I think I might have spoken about
M90 blower on that, and it's airbagged, and it's got lights and this and that and everything else. And he's wide bodying it, and he's got like the full Stancy Boy, 14-inch wide wheels with like 8 inches of dish.
Yeah,
like full
yeah.
Yakuza fucking VIP shit. Yeah, that would be sick. I'd love him to hurry up and get it done. He doesn't need my help. He just needs motivation. But you know, missus and kids keeps him busy. Just about to order a 383 spool stroker kit, chasing 600 rear wheel kilowatts. What's your thoughts on spool, or is there a better option?
Yeah, I'd put a forged scat crank in it before I probably used any of those personally.
600 rear wheel kilowatts. So are you going turbo or blower, like nitrous? What's the go there? You're certainly not getting that naturally aspirated, and if you do, more power to you. But you know, your power adder is definitely going to be a deciding factor on how your rod's going to cope as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, if you're on any of the Holden groups, like what's the one that Luke Schiller's on a lot? I bought my camshaft kit and all my gaskets, all the stuff for that engine, gaskets and cam and spring wires. I got that all off Luke Schiller, who sort of operates off his own profile on, I think, like maybe Pro Holden and maybe Injected 5-liter on Facebook. So if you're on any of those groups, look up Luke Schiller. Send him a message, man.
Yeah.
He's got heaps of different options.
He'll get you a forged scat crank and rods for a good price.
Yeah. If you want to make that power, you'd probably be putting a set of like a billet I-beams in it or something like that. I'd probably want to if you're going for like 600 kilowatt.
Yeah.
Rear wheel kilowatt.
600 rear wheel kilowatt is that's like 800 wheel.
Yeah.
That's fairly getting it. Yeah. I mean, to do that sort of power.
You do that on a scat H-beam, and people have done it before. But
yeah. I mean, to do that, you're going to run a racing billet crank.
Yeah.
What rods are you going to run?
I've got a scat. No, I've got a set of scat H-beams, but I'm a bit of a cheap prick, and I know they'll handle the power that I'm trying to make. You know, like with people have made over 1,000.
He's going to run a G42 and a Turbo 400, so it's almost going to be identical to what you're going to run, really. Like for combo wise, you want to put a G45 on yours, but to make that 600 rear wheel kilowatt, dude, get a nice scat crank. I don't know.
Scat make a nice forged crank, man. Like forge is good.
Yeah.
So either that or I mean, you're not going to go wrong with that crank, but I think for the money, you could probably. I'm not sure what the scat ones, and if you can even get them, that's the other problem with everything. So much stuff's hard to get these days. So, but spool wouldn't be my first choice. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've spoken to George Saparovich many moons ago. This is when spool was sort of first a thing, and he showed me a set of spool rods that he was doing for an engine build, and he was just like, "No, these are going in the bin." And people have got some polarizing opinions on George Saparovich and what he does with his gear, but the dude knows boats. I mean, there's no denying it.
Yeah. This fatty old days of Terra Firma and Crusty Demons, absolutely.
Or dirt, Crusty Demons of dirt VHS. Yeah, that's it. And you'd go down to Blockbuster or Video Easy on a Friday night, and that's when it was packed because everyone was getting videos, for the weekend, and you'd be sitting there like rewind and watch again, rewind.
I still watch like Supercross now, like semi-religiously. I dropped off for a few years, but now that
you got KO. Watch Supercross?
Yeah, I got it just for that. There's a couple of Aussie guys, young fellas over there doing good things in Supercross. So that's probably one of my favourite thing to watch. Period. Like as far as motorsport goes, like I like drag racing and stuff like that, but I'll watch, you know, AMA Supercross pretty much over any other motorsport there is. It's pretty good. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, you give him.
I was going to say, anyone know where this comes from? I'll be interesting to see it in the comments. If there's anyone that knows what I'm holding here, we'll see. We'll give it a minute, and if not, I'll let them all know.
Oh, look at Kirky. Get some culture, he reckons, Jeff. Ditch the Nikes and grab yourself a big set of Etnies. Preach.
It was after a conversation one night. It was me, you, and
Oh,
that was your phone.
what?
What the hell? It was me, you, and Liam. We were sitting here in the shed having a conversation. I think after that conversation, we were all on eBay searching for Osiris and Etnies and DCs and stuff. Hey, like we were all on eBay seeing what was available, the old type of gear, you know. But yeah, none of us ended up buying it. Oh, actually, no. Liam did buy a set of Osiris shoes that night. Plastic update. J-Benz. I'm flicking the VN heads for my 355 build and keen on the Higgins race heads. 308 ones. Oh, so that's early port. Is it J-Benz? Is that like a HQ style port, but a Higgins head? Considered the Edelbrock ones, but yeah, Higgins, right path, right?
Jeez, I thought yours were pretty mild. I thought that's what you're doing, something fairly mild, wasn't he?
It sounds like he's not.
Yeah, you can get some pretty good power out of VNs. Like they seem to be the goey these days. I've got a nice set of rockers you should buy off me for a set of VN heads.
Yes, yeah, he's got some yellow Terra Platinum rockers, and you can probably send the VN heads to Bullet. I think Bullet do a CNC program.
Five or six, or probably more guys that are pretty capable.
Bullet Race Engineering, they do you send your heads there and they put a CNC program through them, and yeah, they seem to be doing really well. Currently in the process of building an Iron Tiger. I think you mean an Iron Lion there, Jazz. With LS1 rockers and an Isky Hydro roller tie bars. Yeah, cool. The thing with the LS1 rockers on a 5 litre, they do bolt down all right, but if you have a look because I've seen this just recently, just literally I was showing you yesterday, where they sit on the valve stem, it's slightly cocked, and it's not much, it's about 2 degrees, but if you're looking at doing some high RPM with some tie bar roller lifters, I would probably get the plates machined so that you can move the rocker over a little bit and get the geometry right, because if it's off on the head of the valve stem, the push rod's cocked as well, and you don't want that.
You'll probably be able to, when Rob releases the stuff or whatever, he'll be able to let people know if he's interested. I mean, I don't know how much he wants to
divulge just yet.
I think it's all even marketed or whatever.
I think it's all still in the trialing stages. But yeah, we'll be an advocate for him if he wants to push it out there. We'll tell the good people.
Yeah,
it's fair. Choose the input. I was only opting for the Drag Pro rods, I-beam. So many options to choose from. We'll have a look at Scat. Yeah, no worries, man. Oh, look, like you say, there's heaps of options, and opinions are like arseholes. Yeah, everyone's got one, and most of them stink. Yeah. But
any sort of billet I-beam is going to handle it just fine. I mean, even a forged H-beam like what I've got you could probably do it with that. Just depends how much money you want to make and how much money you want to spend.
We all want to make lots of money.
Yeah. And, you know what I mean? How big insurance policy you want to put forward.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of guys rolling in with the Winging It Motorsports. Yeah. Yeah, I got my shirt. If you saw on my Instagram story, you would have seen stubby holder and the shirt I got. Pretty pumped on it. They use a similar shirt to us, actually. Nice shirt. Staple shirt. Real good.
Real nice.
Best lifter upgrade for an LS1. Best lifter upgrade for an LS1. Bang for buck, LS7 lifter. Put an LS7 lifter in it and you'll be good as. If you want to go any further than that, probably look at a Johnson lifter or something like that. But that's an extreme case. People are making like crazy horsepower with an LS7 lifter. They are rock solid. They are really good. What events are on the list for 2022, lads? We haven't really looked at the calendar too closely. Like every year we like to want to do Power Cruise. We didn't do it this year because we were both working and all the rest of it. But it would be great. I'm gonna say that your car will be ready to go there by that stage, so it would be great. We also want to go to. We may be going to Motivation, the XY. For those of you who weren't here earlier in the the stream, I'll let you know. But yeah, the XY may be entered for motivation this year, and if it's there, then we'll make an effort to make it there. Also, want to go to Race Wars Motorplex takeover at Perth Motorplex. So they're all sort of WA based ones, but the XY Falcon has undergone a couple of minor upgrades since it's left our hands. You would have seen on our Instagram story a little while ago, we pulled the engine and gearbox out. The box had a health check through Corey at Australind Automatics and got a clean bill of health. It's in excellent condition, given that it makes that much horsepower. Engine had a couple of oil leaks, which have now been rectified. There's a little bit of dicking around with that, but yeah, it doesn't leak oil now. Oh, actually, it's still, you wouldn't believe it, it still weeps a little bit of oil from the O-ring on the filter housing.
Yeah, that
thing is
sucks.
a pain in the ass,
yeah,
but that doesn't count. We're not going to count that as an oil leak. It's also had the dual needle and seat carby upgrade done. So after it did that, it actually picked up 20 horsepower. It's making 790 horsepower on the dyno now. So close to 800. I reckon Mick, if he was there, he would have just been like, "Come on, one more run, man. Just put half a degree of timing."
I reckon he might have used 500 of that so far, if we're lucky.
Yeah.
Or any of us have, really. There was a little bit of drivability issues there. Hopefully that's all sorted now, so it's a little bit safer and easier to drive, a bit more spiritedly, I guess.
Yeah.
You'd say. And it's coming into nice weather now, dry roads and all that jazz.
So we covered it in the video series, but basically when it was tuned, we were told no quarter mile stuff. Like it's running out of fuel. You'll melt it by the 1320. But yeah, so the dual needle and seat has fixed that problem. It is prime for shenanigans. And Mick picked it up on Friday, drove it. So he drove from here down south up to Perth to pick up the car, which is about a 2.5 hour drive for him. And then he drove it from there to Narrogin, which I think is about another 2.5 hour drive for Narrogin Rev Heads this weekend. And he's taken out a bunch of trophies. So this is the first event that it's ever gone to. Went to Narrogin Rev Heads. It took out Best Muscle Car. It took out the People's Choice Award, and it took Most Outstanding Car. So it took the big trophy as well. So that's sick. We are super pumped on that. Congratulations to Michael for a sick car. We're super pumped on it. We're really stoked to have had a hand in that build and to have it.
It's been a lot of work and a lot of money. I mean, the engine and trans has been out of that car
a couple of times.
Yeah, a few times now.
Yeah.
So
so we're super pumped on that.
And it's had a nice restoration, so it's well deserved. Really.
Absolutely, yeah. He's done it all right. That's for sure. Hope you're having fun with your project car stuff from Bill. Hey, Bill. Yeah, we're having heaps of fun with our project car stuff, man. We love it. That's what we live for. We'd love to see you build a 5-litre drift car. That would be kind of cool. I think we'd want to get a full-blown drag car first. Like, if a drift car would be something that we would build if we already had, a horse in other stables. We'd probably have, a drag car and a street car and maybe a burnout car. And then, well, if all those options were taken, then we'd probably do a drift car after that. And it's not because we don't like drifting. We do, but that's an expensive sport. Yeah. That's an expensive sport. It's a good, fun sport. And it's probably one of the most fun, really.
Yeah, man, it's cost you enough just to get a sort of nice, tough street car going these days, really, let's be honest. Like, it's not a cheap sport, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. Sorry for bolt questions. Looking at the bolt in VY Castlemaine 4-link and 9-inch for $6,000. Any idea what the Mac Bros kits are worth? Yeah, I'm not sure what their pricing would be like, and I dare say everyone's pricing is going up at the moment because raw materials, you're even seeing it now, buying exhaust parts and stuff. Yeah. The parts are expensive. Like,
if you can get them.
Yeah, the metal and that is going up. So if you can get one at current pricing, probably do it sooner rather than later. You'd have to call Mac Bros and see what they're doing. Over here, we also have Black Magic race cars. Yeah. They do another kit as well, which you could probably use in a VY. Lauren and Jeff are good there. But yeah,
the bolt-in kits are good to a certain point, but I think a lot of people end up welding it all in properly once they realise once you start putting a bit of power through them. I think you end up
the tensile strength of the bolt.
It's just you can only do so much with a bolt-in thing. You sort of you're trying to make do with what you got without cutting the car up. And I think in the end, once you start racing, if that's what you're doing, you end up welding stuff in to get it rigid, to stay where it needs to stay. So
yeah, that's it. CNC VN head upgrade. Didn't know about that. I'll suss it out. Yeah, do that, J Benz. I'm going back a few
how
months
much power
ago.
does he want again? I've forgotten. I know he
Tell
did tell us
let
last
us know,
time.
J Benz. How much power do you want to make? I think it was about 400 wheel or something,
Oh yeah, that's a good amount.
or maybe even
automatic.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
pretty sure Bullet Race Engineering, they even had an eBay listing for it. Like, click, send them your heads. They do the CNC. They put the bigger valve in. They do all of the shit, and then they send it back.
Yeah.
So it'd be the same. And Higgins could do the same thing. If you're already hooked up with Higgins, already talking to him about the alloy heads, ask him if he can do your cast heads, because I'm sure he's got a program for that too. But Marcus at Bullet has done some heads for a couple of our friends, and his porting is, it's good, and it makes power. So we definitely rate his stuff, and that's not to say that we don't rate Higgins' stuff. We're just not familiar with it. We're familiar with his product, but we haven't seen any real world.
Yeah.
400 to 450 would be great. Yeah. Dude, use the stock heads, dude. You won't need to go to an alloy head for 450 wheel. If you're going to go 500 plus, then you might want to go alloy heads. But I mean, shit, there's even people that have gone 500 with a cast head. I think that'd be about 700 horsepower, say 355, 383.
Yeah. 450, man, that's a lot. Hey,
it is a lot. It's people would scoff at it these days, but it's a lot of horse. Only thing for legality, not sure how I'd go about engineering with a welding kit. Yeah, I don't know what it's like in Queensland. I think Queensland's probably better than here in WA, but
I'd be running the stock stuff if you're not registered or whatever.
Yeah.
Although I think you guys need to get your car checked out every year, don't they, over
there? I'm not sure what they have to do in Queensland. I think
We're
they
pretty
can get
lucky over
I think
here.
they
We
can
don't
get a
do-
mod plate. Like they have them blue mod plates, and if he's got it engineered, then boof, that'd be a get out of jail free card from there. But he'd have to do the work to get there. I think it's
What is it, a V1?
Yeah.
Do some Googling and see what sort of the guys with the GDO, like the Pontiac GDO stuff over in America. There's some companies that do some stuff for those, or maybe even like the CTSV. There's some guys doing pretty good stuff with IRS over there. You might be able to get a nice shock.
Yeah.
And maybe some suspension arms and stuff that might get you out of trouble, depending on what you want to do with the car.
Yeah. Specialized power porting pump, abrasive goop through the ports, and look schmicko. Yeah, I have actually heard about that. You put the goop through. There's like it's kind of like if you
power
put it,
porting.
Yeah.
That's been around for a long time, eh?
Yeah.
What's that for though?
I think he's just replying to J-Benz about putting it through to get the ports looking the goods.
Yeah, no, I think usually you just want someone that knows what they're doing with a die grinder. You want specific sizes and
Pacific.
Yeah. Oh shit.
What do you think about the Barrett engine's future? Well, Ford is no longer around, but there's plenty of them.
Yeah, there's heaps here.
Heaps of aftermarket support too.
Yeah, they'll run out eventually, sort of like the Holden V8s as well. They've made a hell of a lot of those, but eventually they start getting low, and they're gaining a bit of popularity in America and obviously over in Europe and stuff like that where you guys are. So it won't take long for stocks to go down. But there's still a strong future for them over here. Like I've got one in my car. I have a turbo Barra daily driver, and I like it a lot. I think it drives really good, especially with the ZF 6-speed transmission.
And with that new the shift kit programming stuff that the guys at
Shift kits? Oh no, it's not shift kits.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. The guys that do the auto programming kits.
Yeah, that'll be a good thing. Like we've been talking about, hey, if that thing comes to fruition, imagine because it's like a standalone tuner for a trans. Imagine having a turbo 5-litre with a ZF 6-speed. I think if that comes to fruition, you'd probably see that on the channel one day. I don't know if we'll be the first to do it. I hope we are, but that'd be cool as. When are you guys going to do an AU build? Funnily enough, we'd like to do a turbo Windsor, and if an AU was the cheap car to buy, then that's what we'd use. But I think we'd prefer an EL. Yeah. We'd like to do an EL with a turbo Windsor. After doing the XY, doing the Pro Charge Windsor, we're pretty keen on a Ford V8 of some description one day. Reg out once and don't need to be checked. Oh, sweet. Run the gauntlet then, brother.
Yeah.
Daniel Matthews got himself some merch. You are the man. Cheers, bro. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, thanks.
Stubby
man.
holders and beanies, if you do another drop, that'll be coming in the winter drop. Definitely. We've already spoken about the stubby holders, but we just want to keep it simple the first time around.
Yeah,
We
this
got
is our
pricing and
first
everything.
go. Like,
Yeah.
Jeff's done an amazing job of learning how to
build a website.
build a website and like fine tuning it. So it seems to be going pretty good so far as just logistics side of it and all that, you know.
Yeah. So it's going to be good. Like once we get all the orders together, obviously the drop finishes on the 3rd of December. We place the order. Hopefully we'll get all the orders out the door by Christmas. I'm not sure if, especially you guys on the East Coast, I don't think you will all get yours by Christmas, just because I don't want to bank on AusPost's reliability. But
we'll endeavour. Like
absolutely,
as soon as
we got it,
it'll be gone.
You know? Yeah, and we'll keeping you all up to date, either by our video uploads and by our social media as well on Facebook and Instagram. So keep an eye on that, and we'll get them out to you ASAP. But yeah, massive thanks to all the guys who've ordered shirts and hats and stickers and hoodies. I'm surprised how many hoodies we've sold, given that it's summer. But it's like I said in the video, it still gets cold at night. Even though it's summer, it still gets cold at night. So, and when you're out at the track or whatever, that's when you need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, www.torqhub.com.au. We couldn't get .com because some maggots already got it and they're doing nothing with it, and I can't buy it for love or money. Fucking ass. So we've got .com.au. But yeah, if you go to torqhub.com.au, all our merch is there, and you can jump in on the pre-order. 4L60 upgrades to handle the power. Don't tell me to get rid of the 4L60. Oh, damn, because I was going to say the best upgrade would be a Turbo 400. I don't know.
How much power are you making?
Yeah, I think Fred was looking to make him 400 wheel. I think 400 wheel would be fine.
Just get everything you can get done to it then, really.
Yeah, find yourself a good trans builder and they'll get it right. Try Motorfab in Queensland. Yeah, Motorfab would probably be able to do a rear end setup for you. I don't know what it costs, but he would be able to. He's a cluey dude, man. He's good with the chassis stuff. Torque Hub Flannies. Yes. Hey, we've already spoken about that too. You cunts are reading our minds.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just dropped the C-bomb on the live. But
I can.
Oh, yeah, I can.
Dude, I say
man, we would say it on the video all the time, but we cut it out more often than not because, you know, we like to... There's people who probably sit here and watch it with their kids, you know. And I know that if I was sitting watching with my kids, you could drop the odd F-bomb here and there, but you kind of want it to be PG for the most part. Yeah. At least you guys don't forget everything you build on the channel. It's tax deductible.
Yeah. You need to make money before you pay
tax. Yeah. You have to pay tax before it's tax deductible. One day, hopefully, we'll get there. I mean... Torque Hub does have an ABN number and that's just so that we can have trade accounts and so that we can do the whole, you got to have the ABN number to get a .com.au, believe it or not. I learned that when I was learning how to build a website. If you don't have an ABN, you can't get a .au domain. So that's, you know, we've got an ABN, but we ain't making any money. I can promise you that. Even after the merch drop and that, if we have a spare $500 at the end of it, we will maybe finally buy those microphones that you keep telling us to buy. Oh, shit.
UFO said best live ever. We'll keep in touch. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man.
Yeah, thanks UFO. Appreciate it, man.
Especially all the questions and talk. That's good. That's what we love.
And
that's
the
what we get
€5
on here for. Yeah.
He gave us €5.
Yeah.
Thanks to the guys that have given us the super chat too. There was UFO had Fatty Matty. There was another one as well, I think. Jeez, that's bad. I've forgotten. If I go up the top here, it might even tell me. Fatty Matty gave us 5. UFO gave us €5.
That was it, eh?
Yeah, actually, that is it. Yeah, no, thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
We
you shouldn't have.
Yeah,
but thank you.
You shouldn't have, but we're glad you did. You boys plan on coming to New South Wales? We'd love to come. We'd love to come over east and do some New South Wales and Melbourne and Queensland. You know, like that'd be great, but it's just a bit cost prohibitive, and we can't travel at the moment.
Yeah.
So, that is what it is. Well, we're coming up to an hour and a half here on YouTube. We're probably going to do what we did last time, and we're going to migrate from here to Instagram, and we'll do the new segment. What
Oh,
do you like
yeah.
to call it?
Tours with the viewers.
Yeah, we like to call it Tours with the Viewers. So we're going to go on Instagram Live, where we can invite you guys to join us, and you can show us your project cars, you can show us your shed, you can show us something cool that you're working on, and we can sort of just talk shit on there as well. Thanks again to all you guys who've watched here on YouTube.
Yeah, well, it's been it's been a steady sort of 30 the whole time, which
Yeah.
is really cool. So
Yeah, no, we appreciate all of you guys who give us all the support and that. Like I say, I'm halfway through editing the next video, which is where we put the engine into Kurt's car, which is just over here. If you come over to Instagram, maybe we'll show you.
Yeah, you might get a little.
Because
you might get a sneak peek.
Yeah, we've got the laptop and that here. It's a little bit harder, but when we go on Instagram, we'll have a phone and we'll be able to move around, and we might be able to show you what it looks like in the engine bay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be the next video, which will be coming out this week. Like I say, I'm halfway through editing it. Hopefully, I'll finish it on Monday if I get a chance. I've got a couple of things to do tomorrow, but yeah, we'll get it out to you ASAP. Thanks again to the guys, Fatty Matty and UFO for the super chats.
Yeah.
Thanks for buying the merch, guys.
Yeah.
We'll see. For those of you with Instagram, we'll see you over there in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. See you guys.
Cheers. When's Kurt trimming his boot?
What's that?